The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, host of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt. It's always good when the headset starts working just as the show's about to start. So if any of the guests that we've got on the show tonight, they'll be able to hear us. Good evening, and welcome to episode number 195 of the Crash Course, creeping ever closer to that magic number of 200 episodes in hot pursuit of the 31st lap, which at this point has aired the most episodes on FingerLakes1.tv. Joining you from the North Park building here at Academy Square, the new home of Finger Lakes One. It's kind of neat to be in here. This building, I don't know if you noticed it when we came in tonight, it has a little bit of a different smell to it. This place was a school right up until 1983, and around here, this was the first day of school, or tomorrow's the first day of school, and all the schools apparently share that same smell opening week because it smelled like just like it was ready to start having classes. It was good to be back there and see all the teachers and everybody over at the Clifton Springs Phelps Central School District. Melissa had her first day with kids. She was back at school a bunch of days.
Yeah, it's weird.
Last week.
Schools were in and out, and some started today. I know our youngest started today, and our oldest starts tomorrow. So I missed one first day, but I'm going to take them both tomorrow. So
Alan went and had his third grade orientation today, and they scheduled it at 2:30. And both of us are on. We're on the clock until after 3, so we couldn't take him. So my mom took him over. And he found his desk and met his teachers, getting ready for third grade. Sunday was his 8th birthday, if you can believe that. And we got a couple Outlaw Derby cars ready to go as we get a little bit closer to some of the stuff that's going on here this fall. So we're looking forward to getting that under our belts. Melissa was a little surprised when I said maybe that he would be going with me to Virginia in October. And she goes, what? And I'm like, he's got to defend his championships down there. He's got to go try to win some plaques.
Absolutely.
But, he's looking forward to that. Mondays are going to be categorically more difficult as we go through the fall. He's playing soccer now.
Oh.
And practices are at 6 o'clock on Mondays.
Oh.
So he'll come home from school and go to my mom's house after school until we get out, and then we'll go pick him up, and within 2 hours of that, he's going to be at soccer practice, and then homework and everything on top of it. So he's now living the life of a real boy.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. That's cool, getting into some sports. Good for him.
Yep, he's played soccer now a little bit, and he's got one camp, and then this actually they're playing games now at this level.
Is it through the rec?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool.
Yep. So
hopefully he's got his mom's athletic ability.
as long as he's got his dad. I used to coach soccer. So as long as he's got his mom's athletic ability, he should be fine. Dakota Marston, some unfortunate news coming out of the Brandywine area in West Virginia. He ran just a couple weeks ago at the Highline County, West Virginia show. Dakota ran with the Bad Intentions Derby team, and you can kind of see where this is going. A lot of past tense there. He was exiting his truck when it had popped out of gear, and he passed away after the truck had jammed him basically between the truck and a tree, which was very unfortunate. Justin Country Boy Smith relaying that information to us on Monday, and I told him we would try to get that in there for him and make mention of that. So unfortunate break there. That was a sad story to hear about.
Very sad. We've
got some derby action coming up this weekend. We're going to be Saturday, weather permitting. We're going to be going live from the Lake Erie Rumble in Dunkirk with Bob Head. It'll be the third time that we work with Bob this year. We did both nights of the Chautauqua County Fair in some shape or form. We did qualifying night live on Finger Lakes 1. We're going to go. The plan is to go live again on Saturday from Lake Erie Rumble. And Josh went out there and did all the announcing work. And then we're going to turn around on Sunday. We've got a big RC Derby planned for Radio Hill Raceway. Outlaw cars are going to be running down there. I've got a wagon that weighs over 8 pounds before we put the chassis in it, so it's probably going to get loaded. But it'll be fun nonetheless.
Got a cheat to eat. So wait, let me get this straight. You're going to Erie County Saturday.
No, I'm going to Chautauqua County Saturday, which is another like 40 minutes past Erie.
Even
so
farther. Then you're
it's closer to Ohio. Coming back that night.
Then you're coming back that night, and you get home in time to load up and go.
I got to turn the car over and be out of the house by 8 o'clock Sunday morning and make it down for the race at Radio Hill.
Awesome. Good for you.
And I'm hoping that race goes through quick. They're going to have like 5-minute practice rounds on Sunday because I want to get home for both of the afternoon and evening football games.
What's your prediction for the Bills this year? As a diehard Bills fan,
I mean,
are you
all right.
17-0, 19-0, undefeated Super Bowl champs?
No. The Bills are absolutely screwed right now.
You think?
Because this is how bad off the Bills are. They saw that Allen was wearing a McCoy jersey in one of the pictures from his birthday, and they made a trade offer for draft picks to the Chargers.
Awesome.
They were going to send Allen to the Chargers for draft picks. They've already kind of mailed it in. Tyrod Taylor, and all joking aside, Tyrod Taylor's not going to play.
No.
He's not going to play.
No,
he's on concussion protocol.
Yeah, he's done.
So, they go out, and they lose drastically to the Jets. Somebody Monday is waking up with a remarkable sense of security that's completely misplaced. It's probably going to be the Jets. They're just going to walk out of there, and they're going to think, wow, we're not as bad as we thought. And they're going to proceed to go 2 wins the rest of the season. The Bills, they'll win 1 if they're lucky, and they're going to be in that number 1 draft pick sweepstakes, or they're going to lose to the Jets. The Jets are going to tank. The Bills are going to recover somehow to win another 4 or 5 games. They won't get the number 1 draft pick. They're going to blow all the picks that they get, and they're going to push themselves right out of position. Or, here's the other worst-case scenario. This is the year that finally the invincible Tom Brady takes a concussion, and he's out the rest of the year.
Last year.
Yeah, but you can't really count that. It was during his 4-game suspension. It didn't matter. So
the question is when
so now the AFC East is wide open. The Bills finally have a shot at recapturing some of the glory and getting some of that back, and they're going to finish 3rd in the division and again have no draft picks. Their quarterback's going to be in a tizzy. They're going to continue to fire sale everybody off so that they can get more draft picks in the early rounds next year. And fast forward 364 days from where we are right now, we'll be having the same conversation for 2018.
I think right now, after beating cancer twice, Jim Kelly could be a better quarterback than anybody the Bills have.
Marv Levy could do a better job coaching.
I will say I think this guy has taken the team in the right way. He seems to be more, keeping things calmed down, and it's not a circus, but we'll see. One thing I wanted to make a shout-out on last week, and I forgot about it, I want to do it this week, though, is I got to make a shout out to Jonathan Muse. That guy, he's got the parts business, he's got other stuff going on, but every weekend he is derbying somewhere. And I know there's a lot of guys that do it, but he's, as far as parts manufacturers go, I don't know if there's anybody that derbies as much as Muse does. And he's obviously very successful derbying.
Chris, let me put you in.
So I just wanted to make a shout out to our buddy Muse. He's run a lot of. I think last weekend or this weekend he ran 4 cars in 3 nights or something. So he's really puts in a lot of time building parts.
On the topic of concussion protocol,
but shout out to Muse for his insane derby schedule.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we saw him run. What he ran just 2 or did he run 3 when we were up there at Winter Slam? Now I can't remember. I thought he had a compact and a Crown Vic up there.
No, I think he just had the Vicky one
was
this year because he had the truck there, but he was taking that to the derby the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
But the year before, he run compacts and full size there before.
Even him, I can't keep up with.
No.
We've got the one and only Adrian Gilbert joining us on the line right now. He picked up a win over the weekend at the Adirondack International Speedway in New Bremen, formerly known as, I believe, it was New Bremen Raceway. Ever get up there before? No, me either. Adrian did. Came away with a win in the combative motorsports event. Adrian, man, congratulations. Nice job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about what the run was like up there. It's a track that we don't hear a lot about, and it's a derby that's obviously been on your radar because you targeted the show and won it.
Yeah, it started out as a small derby, but it's gotten bigger the past couple of years. A lot of us locals go there. Run pretty hard and have a lot of fun. And this year, I think some sponsors stepped in and made it $1,000 to win, and it was a pretty good show.
What'd you take up there?
My '78 Lincoln Mark V from it was actually my Bash for Cash car.
Okay, so there was still plenty of that left to go up there, and you spent a lot of time in those Lincolns.
Yeah, I have. Past couple of years, I've been running basically the same ones and trying to figure them out and getting there.
Why that car versus anything else?
Probably just the luck I had with the last one that I ran for team crash course. Ended up running that one 7 times, and it treated me good, so I decided to stick with them.
Is there anything special about the Mark V compared to some of the other more common, or at least more popular, Lincoln platforms that come out of that same area or that same era?
Yeah, there is. There's around the crush box area. That works out pretty well for what I like.
Yeah, you like going nose out.
Yeah, I do. Getting too old to go backwards. It hurts.
That's my theory. I just like going forward. That backing up's for the birds.
Yeah.
That's why I'll never run a wagon. I've always thought, before I retire, I've always wanted to run a Chevy wagon. Just once. And I'm like, you know what? For the price I'm going to pay for it, to be able to put the taillights back in it when I'm done, it doesn't make any sense. So
bumpers over the carburetor and the quarter panels can be put on a show car.
Yeah. There's no sense. I just stick with the stuff you can drive forward. It's just easier that way for me.
The Mark V, does that hold a heavy bumper? Hang on, let me rephrase that. With the rule package that you had up there, were you able to do any tilting to the car?
Yeah, you were actually. Funny that you mentioned that. There was someone showed up with a tilted Ford, and it was built to the rules. If you read the rules like he did, he's a very smart driver in person. He read the rules and he built the car to the rules, and he showed up with it. And there's a lot of stink over it, but it was allowed to run. But I mean, he had some bad luck and ended up in the mud with a broken axle. So I mean. But my Fords are not tilted, no.
Have you ever tried doing any of that, either with the notching process or with a cold bend?
I haven't with the 70s. I haven't heard of many people trying it with that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I did try with this one and the prior one that I ran at Oswego County Fair. I got rid of the front horns and put a harder bumper up front, and it seemed to work pretty good.
When you're running a harder bumper up front, in terms of those rules up there at Adirondack, are we talking a harder bumper that's loaded, or just a bumper that sort of came from the factory a little bit harder than most?
I put a 74 Impale on the front of it, and it held it quite well.
So that $1,000 purse, that you deduct the $500 for the bumper, you're almost coming out ahead.
To be honest, the bumper was free. It come out of the scrapyard. I found it in the tin pile.
That's a good find. That's awesome.
It was a pretty cool day. I had a claim of tin piling up the tin pile, and it just happened to fall out and land in front of me, facing me. The holy grail of bumpers. I said, that's cool.
Wow. I had to spend some money and have one brought up from North Carolina to run. I didn't run it this year.
When was the last time a bumper of any sort that was worth anything jumped out of the scrap pile for you to find?
Yeah.
Honestly, the year I ran the green and white Crown Vic at Waterloo, I was walking through Mitchell's, and there was a front bumper off like a Monte Carlo, like a 70s Monte Carlo laying there that was mint. I took that home and put it on the back of that.
Early 70s or late 70s?
Late. Like what?
Like a 77?
Yeah, like what Chuck Chapman used to run all the time.
Yes.
So I took that home, put it on the back of that Ford, and that's the only one that's ever fallen out in front of me.
That's it. You were talking about running the wagons. You had a Town and Country wagon, the red, white, and blue one, but that's not a back end driver anyway, right? You wouldn't be backing that.
You see, with Mopars, in my humble opinion, I think a Mopar that's a little crunchy in the back is better because they'll pack in, and if they're solid, then they go like this. And they become junk. But
the floor and the roof will go with those, and it'll bend just above the rear axle, and everything goes up in the air. But when it's soft and a little rotted, the roof will stay straight, and the bumper will go up to the roof.
Yeah, they'll kind of push in. I mean, I've seen them. I sort of learned that from Robbie Brown. A couple times he brought Royal Monaco wagons up, and after he'd won Wednesday night, and they were crunchy. And they packed in beautiful in the back. They were pretty solid, but yeah, the back of the Mopars unfortunately are a little soft.
What about those Lincolns? The back ends hold up okay, or is it mostly for show?
They actually hold up pretty decent. Most of them do. Any Ford does really. So
I was looking underneath a LTD, Ford LTD, and Kyle Collinsworth was getting one ready for Palmyra, the Palmyra Fair. And I was looking underneath those. They got a pretty nice frame underneath those.
Was that blue one?
No, it was green. This one was green.
I remember you had a blue. Oh, no, that was a Montego.
Yeah.
That blue Montego, that back end held up okay.
Them Fords are pretty decent. I mean, like we said before, Don Santel has done well with LTDs, but Don Santel could win derbies in a wheelbarrow. So, but I was underneath and I was looking it over, and if you could get a bumper on the front, I think they'd be pretty tough. I think they, I wouldn't mind trying one someday maybe if the price was right. And Rick Clark's hauled a few up from the South too and has done well with them. So I mean, there's definitely something there.
Sean Gokenauer's guys swear by him in Virginia.
Well, they put straight axles under the front end, so
that's not all the time.
They run a little different.
they run. It's basically, I'd say it's a fair comparison to Bash for Cash cars that they run there in their Weld class, but they run their stocker rules. They still run those mid '70s Fords. The Pattons do the same thing, and the Pattons don't overbuild their stuff. Yeah.
I can remember. I mean, I've run two LTDs. One was a 4-door, and one was a 2-door. And I mean, it was when I was,
young and stupid.
Yes, and I never bent the front frame on either one of those.
Really?
So no.
But that's one of those things. I mean, we're gonna beat a dead horse for a second here. I'll give everybody time to adjust. You can mute, turn down, whatever you gotta do. The next hot car hasn't been found. When you had those, you had cars that you could go smash. It didn't matter. Yep, exactly. And it was no different than if you got your hands on a 74, 5, or 6 Cadillac at that same time frame. It wasn't anything special.
Nope, not at all.
You just wanted to go wreck it.
And that's the thing is back then you didn't want caddies because the
They're
back ends would go under the even the 4, 5, 6s they'd go under the trunk or go under the rear wheels and they wouldn't be that good. The only time I ever seen one do good was Harry Kopp. He won Waterloo once or twice with Cadillacs, and I mean they were with the 502s and the whole 9 yards. And
he also finished that derby with the blinker still functioning.
Probably
in the back. The front wasn't any good.
No. But yeah, we've touched on that a bunch of times. I mean, sooner or later, we're going to have to go to Ford LTDs or stuff like that because all the stuff that's popular now it's going to be on. But
the Pontiac Le Mans.
I wouldn't mind trying one. I think it'd be cool to try. I'd like to try a 70s Monte Carlo. I mean, as hard as Chuck Chapman drove them, and they held up well. I mean, they got to be good cars. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
I don't know how different those frames were from 70, 71, and when they changed.
I don't know. I mean, I've never really looked. You know what I mean? I've never got that.
They're long.
Yeah.
From the firewall forward, they're long.
Yeah.
They seem to do okay.
They do.
With the right guy. When they match up right, it goes well. Pat Osmond likes those, too.
Yep. Yeah, Pat does well with those.
He's a weapon in one of those.
Mm-hmm.
What else this year have you got planned? I mean, coming off this win, $1,000 gives you a little bit of spending money to go find a compact or try and track down another one of these Lincolns. Are you going to try and do anything else this year?
I do have a line on a couple of the Mark 5s I got to go get, and I probably going to San Filippo, bring my Camry there, I think, and finish it off there.
Cool.
A lot of good prizes there, so that'd be fun.
That Camry is the one that you ran at. Is that the one that you took to Fulton or the one that you took to Morris?
No, the Camry I ran at Oswego County Fair, and I ran it at Adirondack Speedway this past weekend.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But the front's still straight, so I'll probably take that. And other than that, that's probably all I'm derbying this year. I think I'm going to go watch Wheels Days because that's always a really good show. And other than that, that's probably about it.
Are the Mark 5s looked over by a lot of people? I mean, is it something that you can kind of find without having to fight other derby guys to get your hands on?
Yeah, there's not many Ford guys around. Probably my biggest competition for them is Lyman Reed. But other than that, I mean, I've been getting them from same guy for the past couple of years from down in Pennsylvania, so that makes it easy.
Are they coming up from the south and landing in Pennsylvania, or are they all from Pennsylvania?
Well, they come from everywhere, I guess.
Yeah?
I mean, PA area, but not necessarily Pennsylvania, all surrounding states. I think one of them, maybe this one that I just ran, was from Delaware, I think.
That's cool.
Is that a Derby state in terms
Delaware?
of finding cars?
I don't know.
What's that?
That doesn't strike me that Delaware is a big Derby state. That not so much that they don't run derbies. I mean, Andy Chester and those guys all from out that way. They run plenty, but it just doesn't strike me that being so close to the coast that you're dragging a lot of clean iron out of that state.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from out of there, but I don't know.
Who cares?
I can go to one place and pick them up. And
As long as it's clean, as long as it's cheap, and as long as it's hard, who cares where it comes from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's it.
Absolutely.
So San Filippo with a Camry, that show, we're looking forward to getting out there for that one. San Filippo is the last show for Spinning Wheels Production schedule. SpinningWheelsProductions.com has all the details. September the 30th is the San Filippo Smash at Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris, New York. There's a class for everybody. It ends with a wipeout-style San Filippo Smash where anything left running comes out and battles for the San Filippo Cup. Limited weld rules are the max of the cars allowed. Compacts, trucks, vans, full size. Bring it out. There's going to be something for everyone at the San Filippo Smash. They're raffling off a diver motor. They've got stuff coming in like crazy in terms of giveaways and prizes. You don't want to miss that one. And that one pairs pretty nicely, really, with another show coming up on the same day. Right here. Same day, if you don't want to come all the way east to San Filippo, which is going to be held at the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris, New York, you can instead decide to go west. Head to the Battle at the Border 3, which is going to be the same day, September the 30th. It's a $50 entry per car per class. Gates are at 9 a.m., derbies at 3 p.m. $4,000 to win Pro Stock full size, $3,000 to win Pro Modified full size, $3,000 to win Pure Stock Compacts, $3,000 to win 80s Wire class, plus 5-foot class, full-size trucks, stock minivan light truck SUV class, modified mini V8 trucks, Pro Mod Compacts, youth youth classes for the wire compacts and the stock compacts. It's all going to happen at the Ashtabula County Fairgrounds, 127 North Elm Street, Jefferson, Ohio, 44047. Again, September the 30th, Battle at the Border, Ashtabula County Fairgrounds, DerbyDog-Productions.com for that one. If you don't want to travel, you've always got the option of staying right here local, where you can see Mike Schroeder and a bunch of the other guys that we know from this home area. James Brown, I think he's going to be heading over there to the Derby September the 30th at Paradise Speedway with the Ellisons. They drew 150 cars, so you figure between these three Derbies, it should not be hard to eclipse the 300 entry mark.
Oh, no.
I bet you'd be pushing 400 by the time you're done.
And Paradise has got an excellent payout. I mean, if you're up this way, can't make it to San Filippo or something else, the Ellisons have a really good deal. Last year, I think they gave away a generator.
Champion generator, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a bigger one this year.
Yeah, I think they're doing a bigger generator this year. All money's guaranteed. I think it's, I don't want to say the numbers.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
You can find it online. Wayne Ellison Sr., Wayne Ellison Jr., the payouts are second to none. I mean, it's it's going to be a big derby.
Silly money in Ohio, silly money in Geneva at Paradise Speedway, and everybody is going to walk away with something, basically, at San Filippo, and that's a cause that's near and dear to us. We appreciate the opportunities that we've been given to work with Spinning Wheels on this show for the second year in a row, and we're looking forward to catching up with Adrian Gilbert when he heads out there to compete in the San Filippo Smash. And, of course, Adrian, make sure you stop by if you get out there and do get the opportunity to swing out and watch Brookfield Wheel Days, which is coming up the week before San Filippo. We're going to be going live from that show. Stop up, say hi, hang out with us for a few minutes.
Perfect. I will.
Anybody that you want to make mention of before we let you go?
Just got to thank my wife and my family. Everyone knows derbying takes a lot away from a lot of family time and put up a lot of, crap. So I want to thank them, obviously, for supporting me. They were there for that win, and it felt pretty good. It's been a few years since I've had a big win, and I needed it. And obviously thank my friends that work in the garage with me, Robert Groff and James Dickob. They helped me out a lot, so I got to thank them too.
Awesome. Well, Adrian, man, congratulations. Look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks at Wheel Days.
Perfect. I'll talk to you then.
We'll see you then.
Take it easy.
There goes Adrian Gilbert, winner, $1,000 payout over there at Adirondack. First time we had a chance to have him on the show by phone, if I remember right. Cool. We made mention of it. Here's more information on it. Brookfield Wheel Days, Kings Crash from Smash from Derbies host the annual fall cleanup show at the Madison County Fairgrounds. I think last year there was 172 cars. I don't remember, something in that ballpark. That show's been part of our schedule dating back to 2011. It's always a hard-hitting show. John King is going to be overseeing this one, 315-750-6956. 750-6956. Facebook.com, King Smash 'em, Crash 'em for details. September the 23rd, Madison County Fairgrounds in Brookfield, New York, Brookfield Wheel Days. We're going to be there at that one. This weekend, we're going to be on the road. We told you about it a few minutes ago. The Lake Erie Rumble is on deck. We're going to be plan is anyway, to go live from that one, barring any inclement weather, because we don't want to burn up all the equipment before we have to get on our planes and head out to Utah, which is right around the corner. But, we're going to be at the Lake Erie Rumble again for that one. Great cause, the Variety Club. They offer this derby as a charity. It's a fundraiser for that one, and they'll draw a pile of cars. Everybody that sat on the fence, waited to see how the fair went with Bob Head in charge of it. They are now building cars. They saw what they needed to see, and I am really hoping that we get to see Eric Remington in the car that he said he might be getting his hands on. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. Ton of good cars there. Ton of stuff left over. What?
A little bigger than a Diplomat?
It rhymes with Dimperial.
That's cool. Probably drive it like nobody drives this is Diplomats. That would be fun to watch.
You ever seen him drive an Imperial?
No. I probably have on one of your videos.
I was going to say, yes, you have if you didn't know it. Quick side note, my dad's got a 1992 F-150. Mm-hmm. It needs a motor. Mm-hmm. The 1992 F-150s had these weird air plenums, and then they had a bunch of fuel common rails that were variants in between all of them. It's a 5.0. He's looking for a motor to put in it, but he can't just get a crate motor for it because of all the different oddball common rail stuff. So he wants to find either a 302 or a 351 with a carburetor on it. If anybody's got the Ford stuff out there that wants to move a motor, shoot me a message. Be interested in trying to track that down.
Said the quickest way to fix a Ford is to get rid of it and buy a Dodge.
That truck will never be sold.
Well, I didn't say get rid of it. He could have scrapped it for all,
It's not. That won't happen either. That was the first new truck that my grandfather ever bought. He bought it in 1992, and they still got it. And they put new fenders, and they put new doors, and they fixed the rockers and did a bunch of work on it. And
the Fords, they got cancer bad from that era.
And it's getting tired out again, and they needs to do a little bit of work on it. And the freeze plugs, basically, you can poke it, it'll fall out. Hey, it's Chris. Can I put you inside? You poke the thing, and the freeze plugs fall right out. Everything's cracked and broken, wore out. So he needs to get something new. If anybody's got any of those carbureted Ford motors, shoot me a message. We'll see if we can't track something down.
Modified, and I make that thing scream.
Well, they got a budget. That's why.
I don't think modifieds are that expensive.
No.
I don't think there's a big demand for them.
No? You don't think so?
No, I think most of the hot rod guys go with like the 302s and stuff like that to put in their Mustangs.
It's got it's got a nice sounding 5.0 in it right now, if you don't mind knocking and ticking.
This is what he's got to do. If he finds another motor, he goes out and drains all the liquid out of it and puts a brick on the floor. Just let it run until it blows up.
Did you see, on the topic of blowing up, did you see the video from the Labor Day party that Tori Schutte had, where they took a 5-gallon pail full of tannerite and shot it from a long ways away and made a really big boom?
Did they show the cops showing up afterwards?
No, he sent me the video, and then the video promptly ended. I don't know, but it was cool. He said something like 22 pounds was in that pocket.
That is insane.
It was pretty cool.
Let's do that at our. We talked about doing that at our New Year's Eve party.
Glad you brought that up. New Year's Eve party's a go. All the pricing is getting turned back in either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Holiday Inn?
Holiday Inn. Yep. Really? We're up there for a long time over the Labor Day weekend. We were up there for quite a while and going over everything. We found several mistakes. We found several ways to make it tighter in terms of the registration process. We've got at least 2 cars to give away right now as raffle cars. I believe as of last year's conversation, I think we're still going to have another raffle car on top of that you can buy the tickets for, like we did with the New Yorker. But I don't think it's going to be a Chrysler product this year. Keep your eyes online. I'm targeting Wednesday for a release date of the tickets. That way we'll have all the information updated so people can know what to expect in terms of pricing and ticketing and things like that. And there's not going to be any more tickets at the door. I'll tell you that part. You're going to have to find a way to back it up.
That is an excellent idea.
Because I can't do what we did last year again. But once we found the mistakes, boy, was there some gap jaws there. But it was fun. Anyway, Seth Kovac.
We'll talk about it after that.
Seth Kovac, congratulations to Seth. He came away with a win in the Weld class in the 2017 GDS Fair. They run 2 nights up there. He was back around for Spinning Wheels Production second night. And there, it was in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on the wins, Seth.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
So tell us a little bit about how that one went.
Well, I broke my steering almost right at the beginning, and I almost I didn't even know what to do. I was just letting guys bang me around, and I had really bad vibrations in the back, and the back wheels were pretty bent, and I just kept hammering it down, and I was get stuck and get free, and I just pretty much went there to tear up a car, and that's pretty much how it ended up.
That's awesome. To lose the steering that early and then just to rely on the pinball effect to keep yourself in the hunt. And then, so while you were disabled with the steering, they started to go to work on the back end and caved it in from the sides?
Man, that thing is bent pretty bad. I might have even bent my rear and everything. Wow. But I haven't picked it apart yet to take a look at it. But I'm for certain that the axles and wheels are bent pretty bad. Did you even get it off the trailer? What was that?
Did you get it off the trailer yet?
No, it's still sitting on the trailer.
Just letting everybody know what a championship car looks like, right?
Yeah, well, all my buddies came into work this morning, and they were like, "Oh my God, man!" And I said, "Yeah, I feel like that right now." So
yeah,
it's a pretty rough ride.
That's the one thing
about
those.
A lot of good hit and a lot of good guys.
Was it the abuse coming from the side, or was it the vibration that was the roughest part of the venture?
I mean, a lot of times I was just waiting for somebody to hit me, and that's kind of a terrible thing to do, you know.
That's
turn around. So these guys were smoking me just to get me spinning where I had to go, you know. But my one buddy that helps me with the car a lot, Mike Julio. He actually put it together for me when I was away in Mexico with my wife, and this was pretty much from something. And he said, "Man, you look like a spaz out there." And I said, "Man, I had no steering for half the show." So it was just a good time all the way around, and I thought for sure that Brian Walsh was going to end up beating me in the corner there. So, but not really sure what happened with his car, and he pulled in front of me. I couldn't steer, and he pulled in front of me, and I just shifted the trans, no brake, no nothing, and just hammered it. So I ended up making the last hit, and that's just the way that it ended.
So you made the last hit on him and couldn't go backwards, couldn't move forwards at all, and he was disabled at that point for some reason?
I could move backwards, but my one wheel was locked up so bad on the front. Just do donuts, so I just gave him a couple love taps. I wasn't creaming him because I was afraid if he started moving, I wouldn't be able to hit him again, you know?
Right. Bank doesn't care how hard you hit. It's fine.
Nope. Cash the check.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how hard you hit as long as it was the last one, right?
For sure.
Absolutely.
So where's this rank in terms of your Derby career?
This was probably one of the most fun rides I've had, and the guys that were there, I mean, this car is tore up. I'm a big Vic fan. I run a lot of Crown Vics at a lot of the shows here in Jersey, and I'm not sure I've ever had one bent this bad. And it stayed together, actually. So there's some pretty good parts in there, and that's really where it came from. If I was running my stock rear and stuff, my axle would be laying out in the track, you know?
You said there's some good parts. What kind of parts are in it?
I got a rear built with some Postal Mopar stuff. I picked up from Corey Bow.
Okay.
Foreman's axles in it. I actually broke an axle up at Sussex I got an E2 slider in there, and then I got my Baldwin. I bought a Baldwin 2 years ago.
Nice.
With the skiing cradle.
The Crown Vic that you're using, what's your preferred model? The year, I guess, is a better way to say that.
This was just an 84, just an 84 LCD, and it was the cleanest I've ever had.
84 LTD, you said.
Yeah, we actually had to go off to do anything to the frame, you know?
Sure. Well, that's brave, though. I mean, you can't do anything to the frame, and you can't do anything in terms of, if you can't do anything to the frame, then you can't do anything to the frame, you know what I mean? And you start putting all that weight over that front end, and you're begging for that steering to break.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
and everything stayed together. Like I said, it was hopping around the track. It was bouncing and vibrating away, and it all stayed together. So it's South Valley. It's the first week I ever had South Valley like that.
So
we re-stubbed the passenger side after Sussex, a single butt weld, and just put a couple fix-it plates on there. Man, you're only allowed 8-inch fix-it plates, and the horn stayed just straight. Only had the stock bumper on it too, man. I had a 70s Grand Prix bumper on the front of it. Nothing loaded, nothing fancy, and it stayed together. So.
Wow. Not bad.
Yeah, that was a stock 70s bumper. Stayed on that car, and it stayed together. So I got a little bit of praise for them bumpers.
I think you probably got a lot of attention for that bumper. Wondering what you did to it to get it to stay on. I'm not even kidding. We welded it on that Saturday morning. JB Weld.
We had to cut this
Works
car
wonders.
apart. Yeah, I had to cut the car apart just to run it because a lot of the stuff, you know what I'm saying, didn't work for the rules there.
Sure.
But I wanted to junk the car. I didn't want to keep it around.
Well, let's junk now.
To the car.
Well, yeah, but by the sounds of things, it's junk now, and you don't have to worry about it because you got a trophy to go along with it. Sure makes it easier to strip a car out after it's a winner.
It's not going to be easy to get some of this stuff out of here, though, I don't think.
Torching time, you'll be fine.
So,
What's
right?
What's the New Jersey landscape like out there? I mean, you said you got a Baldwin, you got a ski cradle, you've got some higher end performance parts in the rear of the car. What's the New Jersey landscape like in terms of demolition derby?
I used to run. I run the Sussex Fair. That's put on by Sargent Sons. I've been running there for like 17 years. That used to be just like a chain and bang show. Now it's getting pretty crazy. I mean, we're running water boxes and welding, A-arms forward and all kinds of stuff. And this year they were talking about changing the rules so that there was like a pro mod class and like a chain and bang class, because it's getting away from where the guys coming in can actually stay and compete, But then again, I used to be that guy too, so I look at that both ways. I used to be the guy to go up there and get my butt kicked around and look at what I was doing wrong and, save a couple dollars and buy something good and be like, hey, look, I didn't break it this time,
Yep.
So.
Sargent Sons, is that the same Sarge that used to run Mopars out there on the East Coast? He used to run the Delaware State Fair in Wilmington, Delaware, quite a bit with J&J.
I'm not sure. It's the old. I think it's the old Nationwide. I think the Suns just.
Oh, okay.
Nationwide, because Nationwide, when Sarge passed or whatever,
right on.
Kind of was over.
Gotcha. Yeah, Nationwide. We've seen. So they used to be the ones in charge of Woodstock. Mm-hmm. They would leave Woodstock on Monday night and go clear across to Erie, Pennsylvania, and do the show the very next day. They would drive all that way, do it. And
yeah, there's not a whole lot of stuff. Like, I'm up in North Jersey. There's a lot of stuff down in Southern Jersey.
No.
But like Harmony, we used to run Warren County, but I haven't run Warren County since they made it the Pro Mod or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I always been saving my cars for Sussex because that's the one show that's eluded me. That's like the Achilles heel of Derby for me.
Well, it's also
with my guys, like, yeah, I haven't won that show. at least half a dozen 8 second places there and never won that show.
It's also your only opportunity through the year to demo in the hometown of the corporate jet Brett Hearn.
Yeah, it's literally like one traffic light from my house, and there's not even a hall for me, and I just can't figure out how to get that trophy out of there. I bust everybody's balls. I say I'm retiring when I'm done. When I win that show, I'm retiring, selling everything, you know?
I've heard that story before.
Do you drive your cars to the Derby, or do you have to try if it's only one stoplight?
That would be awesome, but no. We trailer them over there. But that would be quite a show to roll down the hill with the Derby car like that. I'd probably run out of gas.
It'd be that kind of luck. Is there anybody that you wanted to make mention of to help get the car together? I mean, you did an awful lot of work on that passenger side rail to get that together.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mike Dulio, man, is super huge guy, man. He helps me out so much. Keith O'Connor, he does a lot of welding for me, like my welding centers and all of that kind of stuff. He helps me out with my cage. Darren, my buddy Darren does a lot of help with me too. He's the guy that helps me turn wrenches till 2 in the morning. You know what I mean? And I was listening to Adrian on the thing too, and he's like, you know, all the time that we put in, and you know, your families are you kind of leave them out a little bit. You know, you're working on the car every chance you get just to get it ready for the next show, and my family's pretty cool about that. We let the kids pick the car and stuff like that. My wife lets me do pretty much whatever works for me, you know. And as long as I'm taking care of commitments at home, I get to run whatever show I want, you know.
Awesome.
Can't beat that.
We going to see you come up for San Filippo?
I don't have anything built or left for that. I definitely don't have anything left in this. I would come up and watch that show. But Gully's show that he just put on there was put together phenomenal, man. Like I said, the track was awesome. The competition was awesome. He had 14 guys or 13 guys in the weld class there or whatever, just tearing each other up. And at the end of the show, every single one of those guys came over and was like, "Hey, nice driving, good job," you know.
Awesome.
And that's really cool. That's cool. Nobody left with like bad blood or hurt. You know what I'm saying? Hurt feelings or none of that.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And that's what the Derby is all about for me. I mean, we just junked everybody's stuff, and everybody came over and high-fived you and said, "Good job."
That's cool.
You know?
Well, that's the way to do it. We appreciate you coming on the show. Congratulations a ton on the win. Keep us posted on how things go with Sussex. I hope we can pick that one up here before too long.
Yeah, that'll be August next year if you guys want to come out. That's a pretty good show. We had a heck of a feature there this year. That was probably the best feature they had there in 10 or 15 years for sure.
Where there's a will, there's a way. We'll try and figure it out.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good night.
You bet, Seth. Congratulations again.
Hey, thanks a lot. Take care.
There goes Seth Kovac coming away with the win in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania at the second night at the GDS Fair. I think we hit on it earlier just to remind everybody, Ed Brewster, RC Derby guru, who after this year is going to be investing, I'm not going to say full-time, but he's going to be reducing the number of races at his weekly track so that he can go around the country and expand the footprint of JMW and the RC Demolition Derby world, if you can believe that, going on. And
that's awesome.
You know, everybody wanted the first fully national promoter. It might be Ed Brewster. But he's got the East Coast Championships at the JMW home track, the facility right there in the shadow of Southside Speedway in Midlothian, Virginia, on September the 9th and 10th. First round qualifying is Saturday, and then the championship going to be held on the 10th. On Sunday, you're going to have all sorts of RC racing. They got monster trucks, tractor pulls, gas-powered RC tractor pulls. There's like 6 little chainsaw motors on this RC pulling. It's just like the outlaw pulling tractors that you're envisioning that you see on Lucas Oil.
Living on the edge?
Yeah, it's those, but they're RC powered. They got tons of stuff going on down there. But he's got the Derby, and it should be a pretty good show. He's got a bunch of sponsors coming up. He's going to be part of the Florida Southern Shootout coming up at the end of this year, and he's also planning a trip out there at the beginning of next year. We're going to be out there for that one. February the 10th, the Florida Southern Nationals Showdown. February the 10th, 2018. It's the two-man team demolition derby. There's going to be 20, 24, 30, whatever it is, teams that make the trip down there. And the pairings right now, if they hold, are incredible. We're going to have some folks on a little bit later on and getting some details about what the teams are going to be. It's going to be at the Hernando County Fairgrounds at 6436 Broad Street. I don't know what that's all about. We haven't. Broad Street in Brooksville, Florida. Tickets and event info, HernandoFairgrounds.com. HernandoFairgrounds.com has all of your details on that one. And let's see. What haven't we hit on? More upcoming events that are coming up in just a short period of time. Stern Dirt Racing, SternDirtRacing.com has all the details on it. It has 3 shows left. There's going to be 2 of them in the next 2 weeks. On September the 9th is the West Jordan Beatdown in West Jordan, Utah. Iron Trucks, Farm Trucks, Passenger Derby, $30,000 purse on the line in that one. The Day of Reckoning is coming up on the 16th of September. That's the all-new Utah State Fair venue in Salt Lake City. And we are going to be back there on October the 7th for Halloween Havoc. That's the Roman Brung class. In the pit party, there's the stock build, the light build, the mild build, and the heavy class, basically, is how they've got it all broken down. Bring your car there, and they'll either tell you to add metal to go here or take metal away to go there. Really, really loose inspection process. And the pit party with a barbecue, you can't beat it. It's awesome. Details online, SternDirtRacing.com. And again, that was going to be at that all-new double-decker facility, the State Fairgrounds in Salt Lake City, going to be hosting it. I can't wait to get there and see that one. We already covered that. So that means that we are only down to these 2. Coming up a little bit later on in the month, September the 15th, is Guernsey County in Old Washington, Ohio. The Leaf Class mini cars, full-size trucks, youth class, ladies only compact, and Power Wheels on deck for Smash It Demolition Derbies on the 15th of September. So about 8 days later. That math is horrible. I didn't even come close to that. No, it is 8 days later. 8 days later, September the 23rd, Ashland County, Ashland, Ohio. Leaf Class, mini cars, trucks, youth class, and Power Wheels going to round out their fair season. They've still got a cleanup show that they're going to have at some point. Smash It Demolition Derby, SmashItDerby.com for details. But their season won't be over until they're done with this one, November 8th to the 12th at the Kansas Expo Center, Topeka, Kansas, Blizzard Bash 2017. Jump online, blizzardbash.com. Thursday the 9th at 4 o'clock is the national qualifying team first rounds. Friday, November the 10th at 9 o'clock is the RC Derby. That's the team bracket. There's 6 o'clock start time for the national qualifying team round 2 in the 14 to 17-year-old youth division. By the time sleep deprivation finally kicks in for real, we're going to be getting up extra early to make the 2-part show on Saturday the 11th of November at 10 o'clock. Compact and limited weld team first round for them. And then the second part of that doubleheader at 6 o'clock, the Power Wheels, all the Team B mains, the trucks, the youth, and the bone stocks. Sunday the 12th is Championship Sunday at 1 o'clock. This is the start time, national qualifying, limited weld, and compact team A mains on deck for that one. So Blizzard Bash right around the corner. They're going to be raffling off motors for the compacts and for the full-size guys, 1 motor each. They get 5 tickets. They're both Baldwins. They get 5 tickets apiece, whether you're in the full size or the compact class. Mm-hmm. And one person walks away just for showing up. Thanks for bringing a team. Each of your team members gets 5 tickets that goes in a hat, and we're going to find out which one of you walks away with your full-size division, potentially $8,000-$10,000 motor.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that. We've been some interesting team developments on on both national and qualifying sides. So looking forward to it. I think that's going to be. I mean, that's always one of the biggest shows of the year, and this year's definitely going to be no exception. Really looking forward to getting back out to Topeka and watching that.
And here I was concerned we were going to be able to fill the whole show.
Who are you calling now?
I'll tell you in a second. We had all this set up, and this was going to work out okay, and now I'm going to voicemail. So we'll be wrapping up here momentarily if this doesn't get answered. It should get answered. So your football game got changed to Saturday, so you're not going to be able to come to Dunkirk even if you wanted to.
No, I got to figure out how to get out of work to go to the football game.
How's football going?
Not well, thanks for asking.
Yeah. Why not?
We scrimmaged 2 weeks ago, and the team played great. They looked great. We played the first team opening day, and we didn't look so great. So it's kind of back to the drawing board. We kind of had easy practice today. We did a little indie work, and then we went into the weight room and did a little running, and tomorrow we get back after it with hitting, and just frustrating.
You had 2 games so far or just one?
One. We had a scrimmage, then the first game was this past Saturday. I was looking for a guy to film some football games if, you know anybody that can do some filming.
When?
Thursdays and one Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one Saturday.
Thursday nights, 4 o'clock.
I didn't dial the right phone number. Not that time anyway. Let's try this one out. Well, anyway, Rushford had their fireman's department derby.
Yep.
Tommy Dowd came away with the win, and that one he had 2 cars there, and both of them were more or less junk by the time he was done with them. And I wanted to talk with Tommy about it. He is down a long ways away from here on assignment, so he wasn't able to make the trip in. And I told him that he should have told me about it sooner than 2 hours before the show started, and he could have made the drive up. We could have put some phone books on the chair, and he could have been on the camera and everything. But
remember the one time he was on with us on air, like at the party, he got pretty nervous. He didn't mind talking on the phone so much, but
that was at the banquet, right?
Yeah, he got nervous on air.
He had fun. He had a good time at the New Year's Eve party once all the cameras got put away.
Oh, yeah. Tommy was all about the New Year's Eve party.
I'm just glad that we can release that information now and know for sure that it's going to happen, because we started looking around and we couldn't find any place big enough.
Yeah.
That was the biggest problem we had, is finding some place that was big enough that could handle what we wanted to do. And we made some headway with that when we went over and had the meeting, and I guess the price of gluten-free rolls has come down now, so we're not going to have to worry about gluten-free rolls, and it should be a completely safe meal for everybody. And I believe they've addressed with these servers the way that they're consolidating the pans, so there won't be any concerns about any of that happening this year either.
Contamination? Yeah.
No, it wasn't necessarily contamination. It was something far different. I'll tell you some other time.
No, I think you did. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it was a little interesting. I shot a message to Tommy. I don't see him writing back. Duncan Cram right now is at a Boston Red Sox game. That's cool. Way to rub that in.
Pete Hansen picked up another win in his wagon.
Yeah, at the same show as Dustin Ingram, right? They both went up there.
$5,000 to win. Yep.
And
Dustin picked up a win as well. The track looked a little sloppy. It was Dustin's car was brown when he got done. So picked up a couple big names, picked up a couple big wins. I think that's the 5th win Pete's got with that wagon.
Because he got Morris, and then he won the week after his dad had passed away at
Bath.
Then he's got that one that he just got this weekend up in
GDS a week ago.
Did he win GDS?
Yeah.
That's 4 anyway.
Yeah, I think this was 5.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad for a car that had 3 runs on it before it started doing well.
Yeah. It didn't have a bad run its first one. Just the transmission was that 700 horsepower was a bit much on that.
I thought that transmission went out fairly early.
It
bashed for cash.
It did. It went out. It was slipping when he came out for the feature, but it was still. I mean, that car was still tough. It'd have been right there at the end.
And then he had time to fix it.
Yeah. Sat in the garage for a little while, and then he put a tranny in it, and
so yeah, Dustin won Hopkinton, and Pete was torn all over the Northeast with that. It's the Northeast tour.
Yeah,
it was that was the one in Massachusetts, Northampton.
Yep.
Not a bad weekend as a whole.
What do you think, Chris Marquardt?
Well, what I do think is we don't have Tommy Dowd yet. We're going to talk with him about his run. He hasn't even seen the messages, and this right here is showing that he's been off Facebook for roughly an hour, which never happens. So apparently he's had some sort of accident or something. Hopefully he's all right.
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy man. Probably getting a new tattoo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's entirely possible. Well, I guess that's going to do it for this one. We'll end this one a little bit early. We covered most of the ground that we wanted to cover, and we'll be back again next week at our regularly scheduled time. Hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day holiday, got a chance to take in some of the Derby action in their home area, and we will be back finally after we get through this wild month of August and Labor Day weekend. It always gets crazy this time of year trying to find Mondays that work because of the different schedules and everything. So we'll stabilize our schedule, make sure you make room in yours, and we'll catch up with you next Monday here from the North Park building at Academy Square. That's going to do it for this edition of the Crash Course. We'll see you next time.
The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel,
and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLinks1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.